For decades, the IBJJF World Championship has been the Super Bowl of jiu-jitsu. Winning its gold medal was the ultimate prize for legends like Roger Gracie, Marcelo Garcia, and Buchecha. But a change is happening. The biggest names in the sport, the reigning kings and queens, are starting to vanish. This isn't a coincidence, it's a quiet rebellion. Imagine training your entire life for the toughest tournament on earth, only to get a prize that doesn't even cover your flight home. Now, new organizations are offering 10 times the money and treating you like a superstar. You wouldn't just think about leaving, you would leave. And that's exactly what's happening. Today, we're exposing the low pay, the insane rules, and the backstage politics to find out why champions are walking away. Let's get right to the most obvious issue: the money, or more accurately, the lack of it. For a professional athlete, prize money isn't a bonus, it's a salary. It's what pays for top-tier coaching, nutrition, and travel, and lets them dedicate their lives to being the best. And in this department, the IBJJF is failing its champions. Let's break down the numbers, because they're pretty shocking. Until 2019, the IBJJF paid its world champions absolutely nothing in prize money. The introduction of cash prizes was seen as a big step, but the numbers have barely moved since. If you win your black belt weight division at the IBJJF World Championships, you'll earn somewhere between $4,000 and $7,000. That number isn't based on your performance, but on the number of people in your bracket. A small division gets you the smallest prize. If you have a massive bracket with 33 or more athletes, meaning your path to gold is way harder, you get the max of $7,000. The absolute champion, the king or queen of the tournament, gets a flat $10,000. So if an athlete pulls off the incredible feat of winning double gold, the absolute most they can walk away with is $17,000. Now, put that in perspective. A world-class training camp can easily cost $5,000 to $10,000. Add flights to Southern California, hotels, registration fees, and everything else, and the problem is clear. Many world champions are barely breaking even. Some are even losing money to compete. And if you get second or third place, you go home with just a medal and the bill for your trip. This might have worked a decade ago when there were no other options, but the grappling world has moved on. The ADCC World Championships pays $10,000 for a division win and a huge $40,000 to the absolute champion. Even the runner-up gets a decent payout. An athlete who wins their division and the absolute at ADCC can take home at least $50,000. Then you have the rise of superfight promotions. Flow Grappling's Who's Number 1, WNO, holds events where winning an 8-man tournament can earn you a $30,000 prize. These are often one-night shows, far less of a grind than the multi-day IBJJF Worlds. This has created a huge gap between prestige and profession. One of the most famous examples is Nicholas Marigali. As one of the best gi competitors of his generation, Marigali announced in 2023 he would no longer compete in IBJJF events. He publicly cited the rules, media exposure, and of course, the pay. He explained that he tried to negotiate with the IBJJF for a more professional structure, but was essentially told no. Marigali, a multiple-time world champion, realized his talent was more valuable elsewhere and is now a star in high-paying super fights, proving that an athlete of his caliber can forge a path where their skill is properly compensated. While he was absent from the 2024 IBJJF Worlds, many other top-tier competitors still showed up, proving the event remains stacked. Still, when a champion like Marigali walks away, it sends a powerful message. The numbers just don't add up. The IBJJF is asking for a world-class commitment in exchange for what many now see as amateur-level pay for a growing number of elites. That's a deal they're no longer willing to take. If it were only about money, some might still chase the glory, but the pay is just the tip of the iceberg. Under the surface, there's a deep frustration with the IBJJF's governance, a system many athletes find to be inconsistent, overly strict, and punitive. Let's talk about the bans and DQs. The IBJJF rulebook is famously complex, and how those rules are applied has led to some truly baffling moments. Perhaps no case highlights this better than Nicholas Maragali's disqualification from the 2021 World Championship Finals. After winning a tough semifinal, Maragali briefly flipped off someone in the crowd who was verbally harassing him. It was a heated, human reaction. The IBJJF's response was swift and absolute. He was disqualified from the entire event, stripped of his chance to fight in his weight final and the absolute final. The absolute final was simply canceled, and his opponent, Felipe Pena, was handed the gold medal. Pena himself argued against the decision and later announced his own retirement from IBJJF competition. The punishment felt extreme and pushed a narrative that the IBJJF rules with an iron fist. This rigid approach pops up everywhere. Uniform violations are a running joke. Athletes have been disqualified because their pants were a few centimeters off or their patches weren't in the right spot. While standards are one thing, these micro-infractions often feel like a gotcha system rather than a way to ensure fair play. Then there's the rule set itself. The reaping rule, which bans certain leg positions, has long been a source of frustration for modern grapplers. The advantage system often encourages stalling, leading to less exciting matches as athletes play for advantages instead of submissions. These issues have soured the experience for both competitors and fans. At the 2024 Worlds, Tainan Dalpra, a two-time world champion, was shockingly disqualified for a reaping motion from the K-guard. This brings us to athletes like Craig Jones. Jones, one of the most popular and outspoken figures in grappling, operates completely outside the IBJJF ecosystem. His absence isn't due to an official ban, but rather his open criticism of the old guard and his focus on promotions that better suit his style and brand. He has shown that not only can you survive without the IBJJF's blessing, you can thrive, becoming a symbol for a new generation of athletes who are building their own platforms. When you combine low pay with frustrating politics, you get a toxic mix. Athletes are asked to compete in a system they feel is arbitrary, all for a prize that doesn't pay the bills. It's a culture clash. The old guard institution versus a new wave of athletes demanding to be treated and paid like the professionals they are. Now, before we get into how all this is changing the future of jiu-jitsu, I want to hear from you. As a fan, a competitor, or just someone who loves the sport, what's your take? Is the prestige of a world's gold medal still the ultimate prize, or are the champions right to seek better opportunities? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's a conversation the community needs to have. For the longest time, the IBJJF had a monopoly on prestige. If you wanted to be a legend in the gi, winning the Mundials was the only way. That gave the organization all the power. They didn't have to pay well. They could enforce any rule they wanted, because really, where else were the athletes going to go? That landscape has been completely transformed. We are now in a golden age of professional grappling, and the IBJJF is no longer the only game in town. The rise of high-paying, athlete-focused alternatives is the single biggest threat to the IBJJF's dominance and the key reason this exodus is even possible. The most famous alternative is the ADCC World Championship. Held every 2 years, the ADCC is called the Olympics of Grappling for a reason. It brings together elite talent from jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and sambo under a rule set that encourages aggressive, submission-focused action. For many, winning ADCC is now just as, or even more, prestigious than an IBJJF world title. And as we've covered, the pay is worlds better. But the revolution isn't just one big tournament. The biggest game changer is the growth of year-round professional promotions. especially Flow Grappling's Who's Number One, WNO. WNO builds its events around the athletes. The production is slick, the marketing turns competitors into stars, and the pay is serious. The WNO championships have offered winners a $30,000 grand prize for 1 or 2 nights of work. And it's not just WNO, the Abu Dhabi Jiu-Jitsu Pro AJP Tour runs a global circuit with significant prize money. And now, athletes are taking charge themselves. Craig Jones, after his falling out with other promotions, launched the Craig Jones Invitational, CJI, which offered a jaw-dropping $1 million prize to the winner of its inaugural event. It's a direct challenge to the old guard and a middle finger to the days of fighting for scraps. What these alternatives offer isn't just more money, it's a different philosophy. Their rules are often more exciting and less restrictive. The focus is on creating an entertaining show for the fans, which generates more revenue and, in turn, better pay for the athletes. They understand that the competitors are the stars, and they treat them that way. This is the tipping point. Athletes aren't just leaving the IBJJF, they're running towards something better. They are choosing platforms that value them both financially and professionally. The existence of these alternatives has broken the IBJJF's monopoly and given the power back to the athletes. They have a choice now, and they're choosing to go where they're treated like the world-class professionals they are. So, where does this leave us? The prize money at the IBJJF Worlds is objectively low compared to other major promotions. The organization's rigid structure and controversial rules have alienated some of its top competitors. And most importantly, a thriving ecosystem of professional promotions has emerged, offering athletes better pay, more exciting rules, and a platform that actually promotes them. The conclusion is clear. Some champions are leaving the IBJJF not out of spite, but out of professional necessity. The prestige of a world title, once the most valuable asset in a competitor's career, is no longer worth the financial loss and political headaches for everyone. The organization is facing an identity crisis. Is it the pinnacle of professional competition, or the world's most prestigious tournament for amateurs and up-and-comers? The IBJJF seems to recognize this, at least partly. Their creation of The Crown, a separate invite-only event with much higher prize money, is a direct admission that their flagship tournament isn't enough to attract the biggest names anymore. In 2023, winners took home $15,000, and for the 2024 event, the top prize was increased to $20,000, with a total purse of over $250,000. But is this a real fix or just a bandage? It creates a two-tiered system where a chosen few are invited to earn pro money, while the thousands who grind through the worlds are still fighting for a fraction of that. The future of professional jiu-jitsu is being written right now, and it's being written by promotions that put athletes first. The IBJJF is at a crossroads. It can either undergo a radical transformation, drastically increasing prize money across the board and modernizing its rules, or it can settle into a new role. It can be the place where names are made, before those names move on to where careers are made. But for the fans and for the sport, one thing is certain. The era of a single dominant power is over. A new multipolar world of professional grappling is here, and it's a world where the athletes for the first time truly hold the power. The rebellion has started, and it's not going away. Some of the champions have walked, and unless something fundamental changes, they aren't coming back.